transfer window has just closed, and for the big six, they've spent a hell of a lot of money. Today's video, I'm gonna rank who's done the best transfer window and who's done the worst, from first to sixth. And before I start, could you like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know what do you think of my ranking. Let me know other ideas, other football videos you want me to make about. And also, before I start, I'm a Chelsea fan, so I might have a bit of bias. And what I'm really assessing, the criteria I'm assessing, is who they've sold, who they've replaced for the person they've sold, and what gaps they needed to replace, what areas they needed to prioritize, and have they done that. And that's what I'm really assessing, to assess if their transfer window has been great. And first off, we're going to start off in sixth place. Not second, sixth place. You heard the right. We're going to have Arsenal. They've had the worst transfer window out of the big six. And the reason I say this is because the players they signed aren't really, adequate for a team that supposedly is going to go and win the league. I mean, yes, they've signed the striker issue, and they've, kind of filled in that void that they need the striker. I know they've probably got a great striker, good striker, but he's not really been tested in the Premier League. Yeah, he's been great in the Champions League, but he's still kind of unproven. I mean, he scored 2 goals against Leeds, which is pretty great. His first goal was absolutely phenomenal, to be honest, and he got past the 3 players. But other than Gyökeres, who the real sign, Eze, he's great, but you also really got to understand that he's 20 years old, and he did play for Crystal Palace. But yeah, he has been great for the Premier League, but can he, do it in the Champions League night? And yes, Arsenal have had a lot of injuries, and he could probably fill that. But even if you say he's a great signing, and I think he will be, you probably only got 2 great players, and your next best player is probably either Zubimendi or Madueke, and that probably says a lot. You've got a Chelsea reserve or a Real Sociedad player, and not disrespect to Real Sociedad, they're probably a great club, and he's probably a great player, but I think you probably could have signed better players. If you're going to go and win the league, you need to go sign better players. Maybe you don't need headline players, but better players. Probably more players. And that's why I feel like Arsenal have probably had the worst transfer window out of the big six. It's still a great transfer window. Out of the big six, I think they've come lost. In 5th place, we've got Manchester City. Now, with Manchester City, probably they've had great transfer window. They signed Donnarumma, they signed Rangers, and they're both great players, excellent players. But the players they've sold leaves big gaps. Like Edison, he's left, but I guess Donnarumma definitely replaced him. I have no question about that. It's really De Bruyne. Rangers was great in the first match. Other than that, he's done decent. But I still think, De Bruyne leaving is a big gap that City really need to fill, and in time we'll see Rangers do that, and that's one of the main reasons why I don't rate City's transfer window like the best. Yes, they signed excellent players, and I feel they've done better caliber players than Arsenal. They signed Donnarumma, signed Rangers, great players, world class players, and I just think they could have done more. And you can see the start of the season hasn't been the best. And I feel like they should be doing a bit better. And transfer window, they've done okay. They haven't spent way too much. They've been smart with it. They signed Cherki as well, pretty decent. I don't think they've done too bad. I think it's a great window. But the teams above them, I think they've done better to assess the players that they needed. And I think they've done better. That's why I'm putting Man City at 5th place. In 4th place, we have Manchester United. I think Manchester United have had a decent transfer window. I mean, the issues weren't really in attack, to be honest, in my opinion. I mean, they have the best attack, but they probably needed to get midfielders. But they signed Mbeumo, Cunha, Shesko, a great attack. But was he really needed? They also signed Pedro Lee on the left back. But what they really needed was midfield, and they tried to get Baleba in the window, but they didn't get him. And if they had got Baleba, it would have probably been 1 or 2 in my ranking. But I don't think they got him. They didn't get him. And sold some players like Højlund, Rashford, Sancho, Garnacho, and obviously they weren't world-class players, but still, they've sold some players, and I feel like they've done pretty decent. They sold pretty good. I'm going to put them in 4th place. If they got that midfielder, they probably would have been higher. In third place, which might come as a bit of surprise to everyone, is Tottenham Hotspur. And as a Spurs hater and as a Chelsea fan, is Tottenham window has actually been pretty decent because they haven't really let go of anyone really major. I mean, Son Heung-min, but he was aging anyways. They were going to replace him anyways. They've done that early, and the start they've had has been superb. They've signed Kolo Muani on loan. They've signed Palhinha on loan, and they've also signed other players such as Kudus. He's had an excellent start to life at North London, and they've also kept the main core of their squad together. They've also signed Xavi Simons, Mathis Tell, and those are the areas that they really need replacing. The Son Heung-min place, they replaced him, and they've got a striker as a backup to Richarlison, or at least can interchange with Richarlison, and even Solanke is still there. And they got the main core of the squad that won the Europa League, and I feel like it's a great foundation for Tottenham to start moving up. And I feel like they've done excellently, and that's why I put them in third place. They didn't sell too much players, they didn't sign too much players, and they've just they've done excellently in this transfer window. Second place is a hard one. It's going to be Chelsea, and I feel like Chelsea, one of the main reasons they're up there is obviously because of the players they've signed, but the players they've sold and how much they've sold them for. Chelsea's got a record £300 million worth of players sold, and that's excellent. It's excellent business by Chelsea. Players who I don't think would have actually had gone for that much money if they were being sold by other clubs. Chelsea have just done excellently in selling players or buying players, and that's something that Chelsea need to be given credit for. Say they spend like £1 billion, but have you seen the players they sold them for? And they've signed Sugo. He's literally the Caicedo region, people have said. We've signed Estevao. He's literally going to be like the next Neymar, the next Messi, the next Hazard. I mean, he's the next big thing. They've signed Hato Delap and just countless other players. And I feel like we've done great business. And obviously, João Pedro, how can I forget him? I mean, he's literally been the best player currently so far in the Premier League. He's got about 2 goals and an assist. Well, might be more. I think it was pretty much that. But anyways, an excellent start of the season, excellent transfer window, and I'll put them in second place. And not because it was a bad transfer window, but because he was first. And who's first is going to be Liverpool. Liverpool have had the best transfer window so far. Before, when I was making this video, I think should I put them first or second because of the defense. The defense doesn't look too good. But thinking about it, who they've signed, they've actually done a pretty balanced squad. They signed Wirtz, Isaac Ekitike, Kerkez, and Frimpong to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold leaving, Darwin Núñez leaving, Luis Diaz leaving. They've done excellently replacing them. They've got a great squad. They also signed that Palmer defender, and I think Leon was his name, Leon, as a centre back. And he's a great defender and up-and-coming great centre-back for Liverpool. I feel like it would be great if they had just signed Guehi. It would have been literally a perfect transfer window, a great transfer window. This is a team, it's a squad that could actually win the league if they could shore up the defence. And I feel like it's a 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10 transfer window. I think Liverpool have done the best transfer window so far, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would agree. Maybe you could put Chelsea ahead of them, but I think a lot of people would agree. It's not too much of a shock that Liverpool are number one, have the best transfer window this season. And that's my take. So let's have a summary. I put Liverpool first, Chelsea second, Tottenham third, fourth I put Manchester United, fifth I put Manchester City, and sixth I put Arsenal. Let me know, what do you think? Would you like, comment, share, subscribe? And to be honest, when choosing these, it was very hard on who to put first to sixth. They were all pretty similar, to be honest, looking at who they've signed, who they've sold. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of my ranking? Please don't send any hate. But thank you for watching.